Hello and welcome. So today, we're going to dig into one of the most basic, everyday words in the English language. Dry. It's a word you probably say all the time without a second thought. But, there's a surprising amount of power packed into those three little letters.
I want to start with just a number, 850. Now, what in the world could 850 have to do with how we speak English? It seems kind of random, right?
Well, it turns out that number is at the very heart of something called Basic English. It's a special list of just 850 words that are considered the absolute essentials for communication. The whole idea is that with just this core toolkit, you can pretty much express any idea.
And yep, you guessed it, the word we're talking about today, dry, is right there on that crucial list. It's been singled out as one of the most fundamental building blocks of the entire language. So let's find out why.
Okay, so let's get down to the absolute basics. Before any word has a meaning, before we attach any ideas to it, it's just a sound. It's a specific noise our brains are trained to pick up on. So what does dry actually sound like in a way anyone on Earth could understand?
This is it. This is the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA. That little cluster of symbols you see there, /dry, is like a universal code for the word sound. It doesn't matter what your accent is or where you're from, if you can read IPA, you know exactly how to say it. It's the sound in its purest form.
All right, we've got the sound down. Now let's move on to its first big job, the one we probably think of the most. And that's its role in describing things. This is dry putting on its adjective hat. And the definition really couldn't be simpler, could it? It describes a state of being, the absence of liquid. It's totally direct, crystal clear, and it's a concept everyone everywhere can understand. This example just nails it. The Sahara Desert is dry. In just 5 words, you get this huge, powerful image in your head. It's the perfect, real-world snapshot of that definition in action.
You know what's so great about this is how we often understand something best by looking at its total opposite. Dry versus wet. No liquid versus covered in liquid. It's that stark contrast that really cements the meaning in our minds. They basically define each other.
And of course, like any good adjective, it's not just an on or off switch. It's great for making comparisons. Things can have degrees of dryness. Is your towel just dry, or is it maybe drier than the one on the floor? Or is it the driest one fresh out of the machine? That flexibility is a huge part of what makes it so useful.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. Dry isn't just a word that sits on the sidelines describing things. Nope, it jumps into the action. Now we're going to see how it becomes a word for doing something, and this incredible versatility is a huge reason it's on that basic English list.
So as a verb, to dry something just means to make it less wet. Now the source points out it can be transitive and intransitive, which sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just a fancy way of saying you can actively dry something, like you dry your hands, or something can dry all by itself, like a puddle drying in the sun. It works both ways. And look at this. Like any hard-working verb, it changes its form to fit the story we're telling. We have dry, dries, dried, and drying. It follows a really simple, predictable pattern, which again is absolutely essential for a word that's supposed to be a core part of everyday communication.
And these two examples show that transitive and intransitive thing perfectly. The clothes dried in the sun. See, they're doing it on their own. But then I dried myself after my bath. That's someone doing the action. So simple, so clear, and so powerful.
So let's just zoom out for a second here. We've just seen how this one tiny 3-letter word plays these completely different but totally critical roles in the way we talk.
It all starts with the unique sound. From that sound, it becomes a descriptor, an adjective to tell us what something is like. And then it also becomes an action, a verb, that lets us change what something is like. It's just so incredibly efficient. You can totally see why this word earned its spot on that list of 850 essential words.
And that kind of leads to this final thought. If a word that seems as basic as dry has all this amazing structure and power built into it, well, what other powerhouses are we using every single day without even giving them a second thought? What else is hiding right there in plain sight?